Hi, welcome to another edition of Fabric 5. Today we are going to explore Power BI licensing in Fabric and its impact on the decisions you make for implementing Fabric in your workplace. I know this is a busy slide, but let's work our way through it. Fabric was built in and on top of Power BI in many ways and adds in a number of data engineering, data science, and other features for the Fabric user. However, all that being said, it is important to understand there are three types of licensing traditionally associated with Power BI. Your free licenses, your pro licenses, and your premium per user or PPU licensing. When you think about Fabric versus Power BI, we used to talk about content creators versus content consumers. Well, now we're in a little different place. Power BI has always had a per user license scenario. So if you wanted to create Power BI content, no matter your licensing schema, you would always need to use a Power BI Pro license to do that work. That being said, when you had a premium capacity, free users or free licenses, where you did not pay monthly for them, could consume the content but not create the content. In Fabric, this is a bit different. I put a table in here. Please be aware these are estimated costs. It's going to be $20 per user for pro licenses, and the currently listed capacity pay-as-you-go license cost. What I want to point out here is depending on what you use, you may have a number of scenarios to work with. If you have to create content in your workspace, you will absolutely need, in those workspaces, you will need to add Power BI licenses for those people who create content. If you do not run a premium capacity, a P1, or if you don't run F64, you will need to have pro licenses or PPU licenses for anyone who reads Power BI reports, not just creates them. This is similar to the current platform and solution that we have in Power BI from a licensing standpoint. What is interesting is if you have a developer who needs to create data engineering assets but will not be responsible to create Power BI content, they do not require a Power BI license. No additional licensing is required for them. So if you look at the third row on the table, I try to illustrate this a little bit. So if you assume we have 20 content creators and developers on my team, we split that team. 10 of them create content in Power BI, but 10 do not. We have 100 consumers. We're running F64. We only need to license the content creators. No one else. Anybody else that consumes is fine. They do not need to worry about it. If you're creating Power BI Fabric assets, you can create those assets without a Power BI license. The cost is related to those things, and as you scale up, you may find it easier and better to manage at the premium capacities as you move forward. You have to account for all these components because it doesn't matter if you run premium, F64, F128, whatever. Remember, your content creators for Power BI will always require a Power BI Pro license to work in your workspace. The only way to separate this out in the future is to evaluate if you can separate capacities and have a developer capacity requiring no Power BI work and minimize that impact. But that's for digging in further. I hope this helps you look at your overall Fabric estate and make decisions about how Power BI licensing will impact your overall costs and usage within the platform. Thank you for listening. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. And we look forward to seeing you next time on Fabric 5.